very special edition of Local Focus with Sebastian Noel this week. Local Focus is the name of the program, and it doesn't get any more big time as far as Local Focus is concerned. This week, what has all the Local Focus been on? It's quarterback Isaiah Chavez of your now New Mexico Lobos will be joining us. So that is pretty exciting. Man, I'm pretty excited about that. I'll tell you, in terms of background, I went to UNM, probably go to the New Mexico State game every year, honestly, tailgate, sometimes don't even go in. I can remember when I was a student there, I went to the games, obviously, because I had some friends and some classmates that played for the team, so supported then. Kind of went through a lull period during the Davey era where I didn't really go to any games, Followed the team in the paper, things like that. Obviously, always checked in how Teton was doing. Teton Salty's been on the show, friend of the show. But never like where it's like appointment viewing, which is kind of what Danny Gonzalez has brought back to the university, because the amount of local kids on that team, it's, you turn on the TV and you can literally say, oh, I've covered those two Erickson boys, covered the Woyson kid, covered Bryce Santana, covered Isaiah Chavez. I mean, how cool is that when you're a local New Mexican and all those kids are out there? So we're pumped to have Isaiah on the show. Man, after last Saturday, Isaiah could have ran for mayor or governor, and he would have won the next day. If they held an election on that Sunday, I guarantee you he could have won. It's a shame that the Lobos are not getting home games this year, because I really think that this honeymoon period at the beginning, plus now this, could you imagine the amount of people in the seats with all these local kids playing? And, obviously that win out of the way, snapping that huge losing streak. It was the longest streak in the country, actually, but for just a very short period of time. We talk about Local Focus being the theme of the show, or the name of the show. Another former guest, Jordan Bird, Mountain West Special Teams Player of the Week. It's always fun watching those San Diego State games. So I'm hanging out at my man cave, which is at an undisclosed location. Can't tell you about it. But we're watching, and, usually we watch San Diego State games. But now it's like Lobo games, appointment viewing, man. So we're there, we're cheering Isaiah on. We're watching that. But I wanted to point out Jordan's accomplishment as well. But Isaiah obviously will be put in focus here. What I really want to focus on with Isaiah when he joins us here is the 72 hours after the game. I can only imagine what his phone must have been like after the game. I can only imagine that weekend. And then obviously he rolls into the following week, which is this week as we're taping. And now he's officially the starter on the depth chart. So his week had to change dramatically. But I want to really get his details on that 72 hours after the game. I'm sure him and Coach Howes had to share a moment after the game. His former high school coach who's on staff, of course, with Coach Gonzalez. That had to be pretty special with those two. I want to get into that. I want to get into, even the decision going to UNM. And then now what the week is like this week, officially being named QB1. That is really special. A very local flavor to the show today. And then also, I want to pick up on some other things as we head into January. So January will be Mental Health Week, or month, I should say, on the program. So we're going to be discussing a lot of mental health topics in regards, or how they intertwine with high school athletics and athletics, period. So, we'll talk about depression, we'll talk about anxiety, we'll talk about teen suicide in the state of New Mexico, some heavy topics. I want to go through those the entire month. So if you're watching and, you have a story that you want to tell, or you're compelled to speak and you'd like to be on the program, reach out to us. You can reach out to us on Twitter at Proview TV, at Sebastian Noel 47. And if you have a compelling story to tell, or you want to be part of Mental Health Month at all, I'd love to have you. And I really want to get into a topic that has once again been pressed to the forefront. Our prayers and thoughts are with the Davis family and everyone in Hobbs, of course. So we'll take a time out here, and when we come back, we'll talk to the guy that literally could be mayor, Isaiah Chavez.
And there's some of those yards right there, right up the middle, and he's looking at an easy run, one man to beat, beats him for the touchdown. 45-yard touchdown by Ortiz.
First down and goal from the 10. Play action and a fade to the end zone. And well, there he is.
Block punt. Let's see if the Mustangs can scoop and score. Scoop and score the touchdown with Western New Mexico. Number 20, CJ Bionis. Bauer the play fake. Throwing to Colson in the end zone.
Touchdown.
Touchdown.
Off the hot man, and why not? Looking hot, looking into the end zone, and his second touchdown already.
Chavez headed in, and that's 2-0. And I think it's Johnson, and it is. So third down and goal, and it's a keeper for Smith. He broke a tackle, and he's into the end.
Holy fumble. Hit by Calhoun. Ball is fumbled.
Head is one, look out, Garcia's loose. Garcia to goal for the lead, 1-0.
Go play action, rolling out to the right. Now he's going to run with it and break some tackles. Lowers his head into the end zone. What a run by Isaiah Chavez. Wow.
All right, my guest, we're very excited to have UNM quarterback, number one on the depth chart this week. We'll be starting Isaiah Chavez. Isaiah, welcome back to the show, my friend. We're so happy to have you. Thanks for making time for us.
Thank you for having me.
Take us out of the field post-game, man. The clock hits zeros. The win is on the board. The losing streak's over. What is going through your mind?
I mean, man, I was just honestly after the game, once the clock hit zero, I was in shock. Like I was just looked at the scoreboard probably zoned out on the scoreboard for like maybe 2 minutes. I mean, everyone's jumping. Coach Gonzalez got a Gatorade or a water bath, whatever it was. I mean, people were jumping. I was like, shoot, I have to go say thank you for coming out to the other guys and, good job and all that. And then once that was over, holy cow. I mean, the locker room was crazy. Everything was crazy. It was just an amazing feeling.
Take us to that locker room celebration. What was that like? Obviously, man, the work you guys put in. Take us into that locker room.
I mean, man, yeah, I've never seen this team like so happy. We were jumping around, having fun. I actually got Gatorade poured on me, and man, I was so upset because I was all sticky. But in the moment, I just went with it. Guys were pushing each other, having fun. And guys were just coming up to me saying, good job, congratulations. I went around the whole team, told them good job and way to work. I mean, the atmosphere in that locker room was crazy.
Did you think, just about a calendar year after your state championship game, you'd be leading your hometown college and you're breaking the nation's longest losing streak? Did that, I know kids have some crazy dreams, man, but did that all kind of shape out in your dreams?
Absolutely not. I mean, my dreams were to come here and play, obviously do my thing and, get a degree. But at this rate, how fast it happened, I was like, wow, this is more than I could ever ask for.
Let's go back to a post-game. Your interactions with Coach House, obviously that's a special bond. Your high school coach is on the staff now at UNM. Did you and Coach House share a kind of a special moment after the game? Tell us about that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, after, I was done celebrating with the guys on the field, of course I went to go find Coach House. And, he was starting to walk back to the locker room, and I ran up to him and I gave him a little shove in the chest. I was like, "Where are you going?" And he just started laughing. I was like, I told you we'd get it done. And he said, "I never doubted you." He gave me a big old hug, and he just told me congratulations and let it all sink in.
Interactions with Coach Gonzalez after the game. Tell us about that.
I mean, me and Coach Gonzalez have talked a few times before the game. Just checking up on me, making sure I'm good and all that. And then after the game, I mean, he gave me a little. He's talking to me about my duck that I threw. He told me anyone could have shot that out of the sky, and I told him, I mean, it got there, didn't it?
Hey, in the box score, Isaiah, in the box score, it only looks like a completion. That's
exactly
all that matters.
Exactly. 6 is 6. I'll take it how I can get it.
I think Coach G is going to look back at this way back down the road and realize you guys are always going to share that special bond. Two local kids, generations apart, one a coach, one a player, but you guys did something pretty special. Talk about just your preparation going into the game, man. I mean, where was your mindset at? I was telling all my buddies, hey, we're going to see a lot of Isaiah. I just thought, I don't know what that was. I said, man, I don't know if Connor will be elusive enough to escape a big hit. I think Isaiah is going to have to be ready to go, and we're going to see a lot of him. What was your mindset going into the game?
I mean, my mindset every week, me, I take everything seriously. I went into the week knowing that I was going to get in the game. They had a couple special plays for me. But, I mean, my preparation didn't change. I always prepared like I was going to get in or I was a starter. So, I mean, my mindset, I was locked in. I was ready to go. Practice was good that week. I mean, everything was good.
Let's talk about that cell phone after the game. That had to be pretty lit up, man. How many text messages?
Oh, at least 40 text messages, at least.
Which was the very first one? First one came from who?
The first one came actually from my girlfriend.
Okay. What about the most surprising one?
The most surprising one was one of the assistant coaches from Rio Rancho. We were actually really close, and we kind of didn't text that much. We always would talk on the field, but I mean, once he texted me, I was like, what? Like, it was crazy.
What about the most famous person? Who was the most famous person to text you after that game?
Actually, the most famous person to text me was my auntie's husband's brother. He actually works for ESPN, and he texted me and told me congratulations and all that.
Well, there you go, man. And then did you kind of get a grasp on social media? Like, okay, this is a big deal. Like I'm telling you, my man, you could run for mayor right now and Keller would be out. I mean, you'd win that election. There's no doubt.
I mean, to be honest, I didn't get a grasp on it until maybe the next day and realized that I'm really everywhere right now. So I was like, everywhere I went, there's a little bit of finger gun action going around everywhere for everyone to see. So I was like, dang.
Hey, we're going to use that. We're going to use that finger gun thing somehow. Hey, we're going to take a quick time out. We'll be right back with Isaiah Chavez, talk more with New Mexico's quarterback.
As Javi's looking, and he's got a guy wide open, and it's Gay, and he's gonna walk into the end zone. But he did a good job with it. First and goal, it's Chavez to the middle, and Chavez stops.
And Stevens in motion. On the handoff to Mitchell. Look out! Oh, see you later. Take it to the house. Fly, Cardinals fly. To the other side, provides some protection. And off to Webskowski again. Look out. See you later. Good night. Touchdown, Webskowski. An 8. 2 receivers at the top. Harris has all day. He's going to fire to the end zone. Open man. Touchdown. Wildcat. Not a defender inside.
A little bit.
Gronkowski on the sideline. Hasta mañana. He's off to the races. Touchdown, Chavez.
Albuquerque this afternoon.
34-24. Rancho late in the third. How about this run? Nice play. Deckerman. He's still on his feet. Touchdown, Wolverine.
Exactly what they want to get yards.
He's going to go for it. He's got a guy towards the end zone. It's grabbed. Touchdown. What a play.
And long here for the Storm. Handoff to, we're going to fake the handoff, excuse me. Davidson on the deep ball. He's got some space, and it's caught. Still on his feet. Touchdown, Storm. Wow. Santa Maria.
And so they'll send one deep and returnable at the 2. Usually Volcano do either a reverse or a fake reverse, and here it is a reverse. And a move to the outside. There is a lane. Look out! Shot out of a cannon. Rodriguez is going to take it all the way.
All right, we're back with Isaiah Chavez, UNM quarterback. So all this has happened. We've talked about the 72 hours after the game. Were you prepared for what was next?
Yeah, I was prepared for what was next. I knew that, I was really the last guy standing. It sucks to say that, but yeah, I was. I just knew that I had to lock in more than I ever have.
Well, one more question about Saturday. What time did you get to bed on Saturday night?
Like 2:30, 3 o'clock. I was up to maybe like 2 o'clock, just finishing accepting Instagram follow requests and answering everybody. I was tired.
So you start the next week as QB1 on the depth chart, and talk about what came with that. That means media day on Tuesday, right? That's you. They're talking to you. They're talking to Coach Gonzalez, and then they're talking to you. So talk about the differences of the week after the win.
The definitely the week after was a little bit more exotic. There's a lot more things going on. Obviously, the media day, more interviews, more people, getting a little bit more attention than I normally would. Obviously, being QB1, it's a lot, and I just have to go handle my business and take care of it, and yeah.
When you start hearing statistics thrown out like, hey, the last guy that threw a quarterback, a local kid, Anaya, Gauchi before him, that's pretty special. That's, take us through that. What are you thinking about all that stuff?
When the first time I actually read that was actually Frank told me, and I was just like, dang, like it's literally been 6-7 years since that happened. And for me to do that, it was pretty special. Obviously my goal to come here was to either change the culture or make a big impact. And that's what I did.
And, whether it be David Anaya or whether it be Cole Gauchi, do you think anyone remembers how tight or loose that spiral was on that throw? No, right? It's a touchdown. That's all that mattered.
Nope.
Yeah. All right. Well, you talked about choosing to come to UNM, man. What went into that choice, man? Like, obviously, this is a special time right now, but you had to make a choice between, do I walk on and commit to this thing here in town? Do I try something else? What went into that choice?
Definitely a lot went into that choice. Probably the biggest one for me was they actually had my degree here. Other than a couple other options that I had, they had my degree. Coach House, when he told me that he was coming here, and I found out, it actually helped a lot because I knew that I'd be taken care of, obviously, by him, and the training staff here, the trainers that we have. They're outstanding, and I knew that if anything happened to me, that I'd be taken care of.
We're going to finish up on the field. Obviously the pass we talked about, it was documented in the journal, but you had a running play before that too, where you bounce off a couple of guys and you just compete, man. And for those of us that know you, we know that that's what you're all about. You know, the smile never leaves your face when you're on the sideline, and when you're out there, you're just competing. So, you know, just kind of close on that a little bit. Just talk about that.
I mean, yeah, me as a person, I mean, I will never give up. You know, if it's up to me and I have to get something done myself, trust me, I'll get it done. And, you know, that play, actually, if I take you back to when I was playing in high school, you remember that play when we were playing La Cueva and it was 3rd and 14. And it was a 22-yard run that I had to seal the game. And, I mean, it kind of took me back to that because that's exactly what happened, except for I had to go and execute further down the field. And, I mean, it was a special moment at that point.
Well, Isaiah, I mean, I know you're in the middle of a week of preparation, and you got a lot on your plate right now. And but I think, you know, down the line, you're going to realize that you're on a really special ride right now, man. And I want you to enjoy it. And could you give us the finger guns maybe at the end here, you know?
Yeah, I got you. Look, watch.
All right, there you go.
I got you the little,
Hey, there's our guy. Hey, man, enjoy this. Eat it all up, man. You deserve all of this because we know how hard you work, and we're all rooting for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sebastian.
All right, man, you have a good one.
You too.
How about that? Isaiah Chavez, man. He just is getting it done. You know, you can't, like this, I mean, like no lie. I mean, I don't want to sound like a guy that's just pumping hyperbole, but it's the stuff that movies are made of. Like, I think I tweeted that online that night. I said, who gets to play Isaiah Chavez in this movie, right? Because this is the kind of stuff that movies are made for, you know? Isaiah, pretty good-looking kid, so they might have to get like a young Emilio Estevez, right? Somebody like that in the central casting. So who knows, man? We're going to take a quick timeout. I want to thank Isaiah for joining me. I want to thank Frank Mercogliano and his whole team there at UNM for making this happen. A lot of moving pieces today. And, of course, our wonderful guy behind the glass, Josh Brown. We'll take a quick timeout and wrap up after this.
Dorian over. Did he get in?
Yeah, they got in. He got in.
Touchdown, Dorian Lewis.
Seconds to play. Benavides still looking up the middle. It's intercepted. It's picked off by Freddie Anaya, and Roswell's season will end perfect.
Second quarter, 2nd and 4 for Socorro at the whole 44-yard line. McDaniel trying, good block by Hicks. First down and more, 30, 25, 20. McDaniel might be gone. Touchdown.
Wow.
Touchdown for Michael McDaniel.
It's 40 seconds this year. It's not like 25 like it used to be.
He laterals it back. What a play by Hightower. Pitch.
Looked like somebody moved a little bit early. Hicks, the play fake, double move. He's got his receiver wide open. Caught. One man to beat. Touchdown. Touchdown to number 17, Nathaniel.
Third and 6. Big defensive play coming up here. Little trickery to Reese. See you later. Touchdown. They went for the deep ball to Reese.
To the right, single receiver split to the left. Play fake, head up the middle, got some room. 50, 45, 40, has one man to beat. 30, 25, 10, 5, touchdown. Touchdown, Hope.
Wow.
On a
Option again, he'll keep it. Now he'll pitch it. Comes out to the 30, 25, 20, up the sideline. Still inbounds into the end zone. Let's see.
Touchdown.
Touchdown, Portel.
The outside of running an out route.
Davis in the play action, looking. He's going to go back to Lewis, and Lewis makes a cut, and Lewis still on his feet. Dorian Lewis is in for a touchdown.
Davison back to toss it. He's got all day. It's one miss, and he's rolling, and he's got a guy. Can he get it there? Davison to Luke Weissong.
Hey, we told you he
Touchdown!
could spin that football, and that was a throw right there. I know he's got the wind at his back, but
Always fun talking to Isaiah Chavez, especially when all this success, all this buzz is happening this week. I really can't recall the last time there was so much buzz around a local kid. I remember, again, I'm going to take you back to that Saturday, man. I'm not going to lie. I'm at my undisclosed location watching the game with my friends, and we're the same finger guns Isaiah was given. We were doing the same thing, just running around there at the man cave, and it was pretty cool to watch. And Isaiah is, like we mentioned, he's number 1 on the depth chart. They need to keep him healthy, that's for sure, because I don't know if there's anyone else left on the depth chart, to be honest. But he's living a fairy tale right now. So how cool is that? And again, thanks to Frank Mercogliano, his team there at UNM, for making Isaiah, of course, Coach Gonzalez, for making Isaiah available to us. That doesn't happen often. A lot of times, when you put in a request that you want to talk to a freshman, Coach says, hell no, you're not talking to a freshman. Freshmen are meant to be seen, not to be heard, right? So thanks to Coach Gonzalez and Frank for making the time, always very helpful to us. And of course, Josh, all the moving pieces to get that together. Again, I want to close the show, talk about mental health, which is what we're going to dive into next month. Cover some things in regards to mental health, that being anxiety, depression, teen suicide. That's going to kind of cover most of the month of January. So if you'd like to join us for that, maybe you have a story to tell, maybe you just have a compelling voice that you want to be heard, you can tune into or hit us up at Proview TV, at Sebastian Noel 47. By the way, if you want to see Isaiah Chavez's original appearance on the show, just go to YouTube, search Proview Networks, or you can type in Isaiah Chavez Local Focus. It'll pop right up. It was downstairs in our beautiful Albuquerque studio here. And I remember that week we were presenting him with the EnchantmentSports.com Player of the Week Award. And we talked about, you can always see with Isaiah, you always know what you're going to get. You're going to get the positive attitude, you're going to get the big smile, and you're going to get a competitor. We talked about at the time how his season got off to a rough start with a loss from ahead. They were way ahead against Centennial. They go on to lose this game. We talked about how, they call a player-only meeting early in the season. The rest is history. They make it all the way to the championship game. Almost exactly a calendar year after his state final appearance, there he is on the field for the New Mexico Lobos. Last man standing, like he talked about, and he breaks the nation's longest losing streak. What a game. I mean, you can't make this up, man. It's a Rudy movie waiting to happen. So again, I want to thank Isaiah for joining us, and thank you for watching, and good night, everybody.